Awesome. So we're gonna start the ceremony. So let us begin. Hello, everyone. My name is Agustin Cortez. It's such a pleasure and honor to be the host of such a memorable day and event. Thank you. By the end of today, myself and my colleagues will officially be Europe alumni. Let's have a round of applause for that. I'd like to give a special thanks to my family, my loved ones. Carlos Miranda, my carpool co-pilot. My coaches, Vic Espino, Sonia Ortego Ureño. My manager, Osha Wilson. My learning community, LC Courage. Hey, and shout out LC Empower too. Y'all treated me well. And every single person that has helped me propel during this journey. It's been a long journey for all of us, and today we're going to be recognized for our efforts. Before we start the ceremony, I would like to take the time to say some few words about my experience, and I want to talk about something that I came across when I was doing some late night reading. A month back or so, I was reading a book about the science of learning, and I came across a term that really stuck with me. This term, the term is called generative learning. And generative learning is having to learn something without having the benefit of being taught. It's a very simple concept to understand, but it is extremely empowerable. And I want to talk about how generative learning correlates to the opportunity divide. Unfortunately, there's a divide between young, ambitious individuals full of talent and the companies that demand their talent. This exists due to several reasons, whether it's societal, systemic, facing adversities at home, or even experience a negative domino effect from people around you. If you went through the Europe program, chances are that you came from an immigrant household, have no family history of a prestigious institution, or have had a rougher upbringing where you endured a lot of challenges. We know more than anyone that there are several factors that positioned us to lack opportunities. And I believe those cases are due to the absence of knowledge. There's an old saying that I love that goes as follows. There are known knowns. These are things we know that we know. And there are known unknowns. These are things we know that we do not know. But there are unknown unknowns. These are things that we do not know that we do not know. Generative learning is us finding and overcoming our unknown unknowns. Although we start off with an absence of knowledge, we don't shy away and we tackle the unknown unknowns. Thankfully, with the grace of kind souls and programs like Europe, we are able to gain an opportunity for life-changing exposure. I experienced this firsthand at my apprenticeship at Google. And my journey to Google put my character to the test. I grew up in a small town called Hollister, a very agricultural town. And when I was 4 years old, my parents started a bounty house company. And every weekend from that year on, I was working alongside with them in the blistering heat or shivering cold. Working at such a young age taught me a lot of values, such as the values of hard work, being patient with people, doing what is necessary, and the difference between white-collar and blue-collar labor. I do not know how my dad managed to work 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. He'd get up at 4:30 a.m., go work in construction, and then come home beat. Then on the weekends, he'd be up at 7 a.m. loading the inventory for the day ahead. He told me something I would never forget. He told me, Dean, es mejor trabajar con la mente que las manos, meaning it's better to work with your mind than to work with your hands. I took that advice to heart and was eager to seek opportunities. So I eagerly and naively decided to start a digital marketing agency right out of high school. There were a lot of ups and downs during my venture, but after 2.5 years, I plateaued and I did not know what to do with my life. I was I knew I was missing something, but I did not have the bridge to gain the exposure that I needed. Then one day, when I felt that I was going through the worst of my struggles, an opportunity appeared. Thanks to a childhood friend named Jonathan Juarez, I learned about Europe. JJ was a pioneer for believing in Europe, and was one of the first people to go through the program from Hollister. By seeing his growth and seeing him land a job at eBay, he inspired several other people from our small town to join. Every cycle since then, there has been people from Hollister commuting to Europe into our internship spots, which is a commute at least over an hour and a half each day. Europe gave me the pivotal exposure that changed my life forever. Seeing firsthand how multi-billion-dollar companies operate made me aware of the skills that I had to develop. Some lessons were simple, like how to properly eat at a corporate event or how to prepare for interviews. I remember when I had my first mock interview, I couldn't pick up simple cues like taking notes, asking questions, and how my fidgeting would be distracting. Some lessons were more complicated, like picking up technical skills and applying them to a fast operating ecosystem. Having 6 months to try to catch up to experts who have been doing their craft for years is nearly impossible. And absorbing an excessive amount of information may be overwhelming. But thankfully, with the support of a good mentor, a good community support, and an acquiring mind, it made the process less daunting. I can confidently say that over the past 6 months, I have learned the equivalent of several years. With a stronger resume and new experience under my belt, I know my next venture will be a springboard into success. Our careers may be early in trajectories, and we may have felt the weight and burden of generative learning. But this obstacle can become a way to our success. We can find strength in the way we have built our character through the challenges we have faced. Whenever we face future adversity by having to learn something without being taught, we know we can navigate and accomplish our goals. We've done it before. We've made it this far with our sheer determination, and with our never-ending commitment to progress, we will be a positive ripple effect among ourselves, our communities, and future generations. Thank you. Thank you. And now, it is my honor to introduce the graduation keynote speaker. She is a longtime champion of Europe and is currently focusing on building a better California where working people thrive through the Better Careers Initiative at the James Irvine Foundation. She has more than 30 years of experience investing in communities here in the Bay Area and across the country. And I think you'll see her as an outstanding leader who puts love at the center of her work. Please welcome someone who has dedicated her career to empowering communities and individuals. Senior Program Officer with the James Irvine Foundation, Kelly Gully.
I'm going to move Augustine's book and put mine up. Don't mind. Good morning. What a blessing it is to be here today. They'll probably have to turn the mic down and have a big booming voice. So thank you so much, Augustine, for that incredible introduction. I'm humbled and honored to be your keynote speaker this afternoon, and I truly appreciate the hard work that it has taken for you to get here today. Please give yourselves another round of applause. It's awesome. It's a big deal. So, full disclosure, I'm an ordained minister. Don't be alarmed. I'm not gonna give you a 60-minute sermon today. Instead, I'll tell you a few stories from my life with a few key principles that I hope you will remember and add to your toolkit of wisdom that you will need as you journey into the world of work. I'll start with the first principle. It's very simple, 2 words: don't quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is crazy with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You might succeed with another blow. Often the struggler has given up when she might have captured the victor's cup. And she learned too late when the night came down how close she was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. Don't quit. That's number 1. I'm going to give you 4. That's the first one. As part of going through the process of joining Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority in college, I had to memorize this poem called Don't Quit. I didn't appreciate the words at the time, but it's interesting how these words truly connect to what Mom and Dad always told me and my brother and my 2 sisters when we were growing up. They said, don't quit. No matter what you do, stick it out until the end, but don't quit in the middle. So when I watched track meets on TV, I loved how they competed, and I decided that I wanted to run track. I was in the middle school, and I wanted that excitement of running track. So I joined the track team, and I hated it. I didn't realize that watching people run was more fun than running myself. I came home after the first 2 weeks complaining to my mom and dad about how hard it was and how it wasn't fun and how I wasn't very good at it. And they said, you cannot quit in the middle of the season. Once the season is over, you don't have to run track again. But like we always tell all of you, you have to finish what you start. So I wasn't allowed to quit track and many other things that I tried to get out of as a teenager. And as you might guess, I didn't join the track team the next year. I also raised my kids in that same way and gave them that same message from my parents. My parents are still a critical anchor in my life. I truly listen to them now and value their wisdom and opinions, even though when I was your age, I was a knucklehead and I didn't listen to everything that they told me, so I had to learn some things the hard way. I was born in 1962. I know that's ancient to many of you. Our country was in the midst of the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement. There were so many things going on. We had issues with race, crime, all kinds of things, almost like exactly what we see in the newspapers on today. My incredible parents, Margaret and Frank Lomax, intentionally broke the cycle of generational poverty, alcoholism, and domestic violence in our family. They experienced that in their families. Because when they got married 60 years ago, and they are still married, they decided our kids will not see or experience the kinds of things we experienced as kids. The buck stops here, and they kept their promise to us. You see, although my grandmothers were loving and kind as they raised their children, both of my grandfathers struggled with alcoholism, which led to episodes of domestic violence in the home. I once asked my dad why he thought Grandpa drank alcohol and became violent. He said Grandpa was a proud man, very smart, always loved to be dressed in the finest suits and hats when he went out on the town in Akron, Ohio. He said, I think it was the oppression that drove him to drink. He could never be who he knew he was inside of himself. He dealt with racism and other issues outside of the home, at work, or in the community that he never talked about, yet he drank to drive away the pain and the fear of living the existence that he lived. This story leads me to my second life principle. Don't let society define who you are. you are the keeper of your own identity. You are the one who controls your decisions and reactions to what people do or say to you, to your friends, or to your family. I say this because it always breaks my heart when I see a young person who has so much promise and so much potential let something happen at a party or an argument in the street, let them just pop off, do something, and turn the whole thing around. In one instant, life can change. Don't let that happen to you. You've worked too hard to get to this day of accomplishment. So I promised I wouldn't preach a 60-minute sermon, and I'm not. But our third life principle is a scripture in the Bible. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19, this is one of my life principles that helps me to deal with frustrations and challenges at work, at home, in church, and other places. It's really simple. I want you to repeat after me. My dear brothers and sisters, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. That was good. Let's say it one more time. Everybody in the whole crowd say it this time. My dear brothers and sisters, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Another way of saying this is, dear friends, lead with your ears, follow with your tongue, and let anger straggle in the rear. Unfortunately, we get this backwards most of the time. Instead of listening, then speaking, then getting angry, we get angry first, just pop off, which includes speaking and saying things that we're not quite proud of and using words that we're not quite proud of. And in our fury, after our fury, sometimes we begin to listen and then regret what just happened. So I want you to make sure that you think about this, especially in the world of work, especially when you go to work. The workplace is where we spend most of our time when we work full time. The majority of our days are spent at work. Everyone is not going to like you, agree with you, or support you. You will run into managers and project directors that are awesome mentors and people with skills and management skills that love to help you develop and grow. And then you'll run into others that say that they support you and they like you and they're doing things for you, and they're actually doing the opposite. This principle of being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry will help you with those folks, I promise. So what does this look like in action? Here's a short story that'll help you. This past summer, I was in Israel on an 18-day study tour, talking with someone who has completely opposite political views to mine. She was saying some things that I totally, and I mean totally, disagreed with. I felt myself getting angry. I could have popped off and ended the conversation abruptly like we see so many people do, but instead, I started whispering to myself, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. I said it like 12 times. It was that kind of conversation. I just was quiet. So, however, as she kept talking, I truly started listening to what she was saying, and it made me wonder where her beliefs came from. She grew up in a completely different neighborhood, culture, and political context than I did. The more I listened, the more intrigued I became about her life and her worldview. So when I finally spoke, I didn't try to defend my beliefs. Instead, I asked her some questions about her life, and it opened her up to talking about other things. I felt the anger dissipating, and truly, by the end of the conversation, I realized that we had more in common than we had that was different. As I said, our politics were very different, but our beliefs, we are both Christian. Our interest, we were both on the same study tour. Our role, she's a mom and so am I, were very much the same. It was fascinating how leading with my ears instead of my initial anger helped me form a new friendship instead of creating a new enemy. Well, I know I'm getting close to my time, so I'm going to give you one final principle that is also 2 words: no regrets. I learned this 4th life principle of no regrets from my little girl, Erica Danielle Gully. We call her Little Miss Erica, and she lives with Jesus. Erica left here at the age of 3 years old after being diagnosed with an extremely rare blood disease, which she essentially overcame with medications and treatment. Then when she was 2, she was diagnosed with liver cancer. We were devastated. It was the first time that the medical field had a patient with this severe blood disease plus liver cancer. There was no medical history to guide us or give us wisdom, and we had so many hard decisions to make. My husband Dominic and I worked in partnership with our pediatrician, Dr. Charles Schlossman, at Kaiser Santa Clara. When it was time for us to make a hard decision about treatment or surgery or something else, Dr. Schlossman would say, "Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Gully, here are the facts and here are the options. We have to make a decision, but remember how we do this." And we would say, "Yes, we remember, no regrets." We agreed that whatever decision we made for Erica, that it was the decision. And we would not have any regrets and wonder what would have happened if we had made a different decision. So we truly have no regrets with every decision we made, including the decision toward the end of her life to allow her to live life to its fullest until she passed away peacefully in her sleep. I invite you to live a life of no regrets. When you have several options before you, listen to your parents, your mentors, and others who offer you wisdom. Consider your choices. Make the best choice that is aligned with what you know is best at the time, and lean into that decision without looking back to regret that you didn't do something different. No regrets. Our daughter Raquel, who is now a wife, mom, and therapist working with children who go through crisis and trauma, was only 5 years old when her sister passed away. Our 24-year-old son, Dominic Jr., DJ, who is serving our country in the United States Navy, was born after Erica died. We tell her whole story in our book called Erica's Story, if you'd ever like to learn more about and be encouraged by this amazing journey of life that we had. Raquel always wanted to celebrate Erica's birthday, even after she passed away, which we didn't think was healthy, but God fixed that. DJ was due on July 3rd, 1990, and was prematurely born on Erica's birthday on May 28th, 1990, 5 years to the day that Erica was born. So Raquel got her wish of being able to continue having a May 28th birthday party, and I know this will be hard for you to believe, but Raquel has a daughter, Carmen Erica Denise Moore, she's named after her auntie, and a son, our little grandson, Ricky Stanley Moore III, who was due on June 17th, 2019, and was also born prematurely on May 28th, 2019. It's a very special day of remembrance and celebration in our family. And we really think that Erica is up in heaven working some things out and telling God, that's my day, let's just triple down on that. So in closing, I'm gonna review our 4 life principles for you to take with you into the world of work. Number 1, don't quit. Number 2, don't let society define who you are. You are the keeper of your own identity. Number 3, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And number 4, no regrets. I'll end with a poem by Langston Hughes called Mother to Son. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I's been a-climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on those steps, 'cause you finds it's kinda hard. Don't you fall now, for I's still going, honey. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Thank you.
Wow, I'm at loss of words for such a story. True wisdom. I'm very grateful that altruistic people like yourself exist. One more time, round of applause for Kelly Gully. Now, I can't wait for y'all to meet today's graduate speaker. His story is one of a kind and demonstrates the character it takes to achieve your dreams if you put your mind to it. This is a dreamer who envisions his future and makes it happen. With an optimistic mindset, he became an important figure to his colleagues and is here to showcase his story. I'm sure everyone in the room will be inspired, and I present you Zishan Nazir.
It was the second day of my internship, and my manager gave me this QUIP document. And in it, it described how basically our team managed major integrations and projects and how they planned it out. I later took that document, went back to my desk, looked at it, and I had to go back to my manager. And I went to him and said, "Is this really what you guys use to manage these big integrations?" And as he saw my shocked face, he responded, "Well, unfortunately, yes, because we're not really project managers here, so," and I completed for him. It's basic. I mean, mind you, this was my second day of internship, and I thought to myself, what did I just do? But 3 months down the line, my very manager was laughing about that very moment, about being called out by me on the second day of internship for having a basic project plan. But I mean, as a project management student, I knew what needed to be done, and I took action. And we completed this documentation project and created this really nice project planner. And you know what? They liked it, and it's the base of their project plan today. But before I even started Europe, I knew where I wanted to go. I mean, most of you asked me, where do you want to go intern? Or where do you see yourself in the next 6 months? And thankfully, in the city, we'd be standing outside, and all I needed to do was point up to the sky. Most of you know where I'm pointing up to, though. But with that in mind, I left no stone unturned and stayed up late working on deliverables, and even that little Slack project, which Ignite mostly hates me about till today. But I mean, it was because of that that encouraged me. But when I saw my internship folder and saw Salesforce, I was probably the most happiest person at that time. But the truth is, the road that got me there wasn't the smoothest. After losing my father in 2004, my mother decided to move back to Pakistan from the United States. And you know what? That transition, it wasn't easy for me. But the things that made it hard have made me stronger. And in 2016, I decided that, you know what, it's time to go back to the United States as a college student by myself. So I set out on that mission, and I started school at Clarkson University in Potsdam, New York. It was a new chapter in my life, but again, unfortunately, not the best one. The 2016 elections really shifted something. It shifted something, especially within rural America, because I was not accustomed to questions like, hey, you're not white, so you're not American, so where are you from, right? Or a roommate who casually hung up a flag that really meant something in our dorm. But at the time, I didn't really know what it meant, because as you know, I lived in Pakistan most of my high school years. But when some of my African American friends came into my dorm and said, "Hey, what is that?" And I was like, I'm not sure. I mean, it's my roommates. I'm letting them do him. I'm doing me over here. But I mean, then they point out, "Hey, that's the Confederate flag." And then I thought to myself, and it all came back to me that what that really meant. And these things were not just disturbing, but they hurt. Over there, people only knew I came from California. I never told them that I came from Pakistan. I was afraid to really tell them who I truly was. And to the point that I even changed where I came from or where I lived on Facebook to San Francisco, California, and not Lahore, Pakistan. I mean, yeah, it was that serious. But between the feeling of not belonging and realizing that I really didn't want to stay there and I didn't really want to do engineering, I knew I couldn't be at Clarkson anymore. And to my surprise, my mother suggested I move back to California. And on that flight to San Francisco with just 2 suitcases to my name, and my auntie in Cupertino who had a place for me to stay for a while until I figured out something in the East Bay, and God give her strength as she fights breast cancer. But on that flight, I knew I couldn't look back. And back in the days, I watched a lot of YouTube, and you know, one thing that really caught my eye was like people making $200 to $300 a day off a boosted board, delivering for Caviar and Postmates. I mean, for those of you who don't know what a boosted board is it's an electric skateboard. So I thought to myself, hey, why not get a bicycle and make more? Well, I mean, the funny thing is, you need a lot of stamina. And yeah, so that didn't really turn out too good in the start, but you know, as time went on, I gained that stamina. I started making that $200 to $300 a day. But after coming home every day with literal blood, sweat, and tears, I would think to myself, was this really worth it? And spoiler alert, it wasn't. My cousins and I, we worked on a startup, and like most startups, it wasn't really successful. But we learned a lot, and I took away a lot from that. I knew and learned that I could manage things, and I realized something during that time. I realized and learned and liked the feeling of how it really felt to work on a project I was passionate about, something I had a longing for. And because of that very reason, I thought about my cousin, Moise Qureshi, and his journey when he started Europe in 2016, at the time I started my college career. And now he's here at Salesforce working full-time, and I'm here giving this graduation speech. So, his story is what really inspired me, and I took that step towards this program, and I got accepted to the program. And even though living on that Europe stipend felt like made college feel like paradise, I kept pushing forward. And yes, I earned 6 infractions in 1 week, but I learned from my mistakes. And when I walked into my internship for the first time, even though I knew I still had a lot to learn, I knew that I had the grit and determination to be successful. And during my 6 months at Salesforce, I made real contributions to my team and to the bottom line. The forecasting that I turned in on a monthly basis to my senior vice president gave them the information they needed to save hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Also, The team that I work on is small and new. And if the 3 core people were to leave as of today and 3 new people were to come in, they would not know what to do, how to do, what to do, or like what's even going on. But because of my documentation project, my team now had a roadmap to preserve that very knowledge and help us to continue to improve. But what was really the best parts of my internship? The best part of my internship was the feeling that I was amongst family. I knew that I could be myself, and when I could be myself, I could do my best work. I mean, in a world where people think you're not qualified because you do not have a college degree, you guys believed that talent looked in many different ways. You gave us work, trust, and responsibility, and because of that, I walked into my internship every day between 7:30 and 7:45, and before you knew it, it was 4:30 p.m. And I'm not here complaining that I was there for so long, but I'm complaining that that was not enough time for me, because I was having a good time, and time flies when you're having a good time. And even though I was putting intense mind and power into all my work, I knew that I loved what I was doing, and that's what mattered. And honestly, I couldn't have gone through this journey alone. So to our friends and family who have supported us on this journey, thank you. Because truly none of us gets to this point alone. And personally, I would like to thank and name a few people. And after I say your name, I would like you to stand up, recognize yourself, and remain standing for a moment until I tell you guys to sit down. So, now, these are those individuals who always looked out for me, either during learning and development, internship, or both, who always pointed me towards the right tracks when I started turning sideways. These particular people entered into my life in different times, but left an impact that was equally effective. And in no particular order, I wanted to start off with my coaching group. So, Carlin, Abdullah Ibrahim, Jennifer Meza, Christian Velasquez, Tatiana Holiday, and Mia Shahab. 2 of those people are not here with us today. Two of those people are not here with us today. So is out of state, and so is Mia Shahab. But Mia Shahab is at his sister's wedding, so congratulations to him for that. And so he has a special spot in my heart, and he told me if I don't shout it out properly, he won't believe that I was speaking on stage, even though I'm still here. But he's a really amazing person, and he is a gem for Europe. And honestly, if you don't know him, you should go get to know him. And next off are some other individuals within my LC. Once again, shout out LC Ignite. But I wanted to thank Jahi Davis, my slime, my OG, real one right there. He always stayed true to me from day one, and he's probably the realest person over here. Next, Christian Perez, represent from the Stack Squad over there, my man. And now, moving on to some of the people outside of my LC. First shout out goes to Jay Munoz, my man over here, looking out for me in and outside of the program, giving me that game. And honestly, I came back literally to California in 2018, and he's been looking out for me since I started this program. Next is Safina Huang, a real good friend, who was a major part of my internship at Salesforce as well, and a big support for me in helping me find my job there. Also, I forgot from my previous LC, another shout out to Valerie who was also a great help during my time during L&D internship, and also supported me through a lot of things. And last but not the least, to probably the strongest mom I know here within this program, Miriam Hunsia, who has gone through a lot within this program. There's her daughter. Shout out to Lila. But yeah, another round of applause for these amazing people. And now you guys could sit. But look, the reason why I made you all stand was to make a point, to show how life evolves and connections are established, and how those connections then turn into relationships. Because we never imagined to meet before this program, but we did. And it was in those moments where we were the most vulnerable to share our thoughts and listen to each other with open ears is what has made those bonds into what they are today. And that is the point I wanted to make to everyone, because I realized to be successful within this world, one must be vulnerable enough to put themselves out there and build those trusts and bonds and relationships. And no doubt, everyone walked out of here with new friendships and relationships. Because look, here's the thing. When I look around this room, I see hundreds of people with a purpose, a passion. People who have made contributions to their companies and internships. I mean, we are a group of individuals who are not afraid to take a leap of faith into the unknown and come out on top. Because we all have a story, and some of those stories, just like mine, have included great struggles and adversity. And honestly, all we needed was an opportunity, and I'm so glad to be here today to celebrate that very journey with you. And last but not the least, to our managers and partners, and special shout out to my manager, Brendan Redmond, who supported me through my internship immensely. I wanted to thank you, and on this day, I also wanted to challenge you. Because for each and every one of us who walks across this stage today, there's hundreds and thousands of more individuals outside of this very room who have the same or more potential than we do to contribute to your companies, to bring in new perspectives, and help your bottom line. Remember all of us in this room today, and don't forget us, because our potential and our contributions are really important to you guys as well. And keep those very doors open to ensure that everyone who is willing to work hard will have a chance to excel. Also, act as ambassadors of this cause. Because honestly, if you guys didn't have those doors open today, this very room, at this very moment, would have been empty. Thank you.
Gotta get that picture for LinkedIn. Where are my LinkedIn people at? Awesome. Thank you, Zijan. Such inspiring words. Truly, truly inspirational. So now it's the time y'all been waiting for. We're going to be transitioned to be receiving our graduation certificates. Alrighty, so to initiate this, let me introduce our LC Achieve Program Manager from San Francisco, Paris Carthen.
Hey. Good morning, my name is Paris Carthen, and I am one proud program manager. I am also one proud Class 7 alumna from Europe Bay Area as well. So in a couple of seconds, our Class 22 graduates will walk across the stage. Yuba, which is Europe Bay Area, has 7 learning communities that will be walking across this stage. And each learning community has a unique name that each graduate has embodied on their year-long journey here. Their program managers will call them across the stage as their coaches who have supported them throughout their time here will hand them their certificate holders. So I have the pleasure of kicking it off with my awesome, amazing, I'm starting with these A's because we are LC Achieve. Eileen Lobato. Jarek J. Munoz. Troy Sanchez. Daniel Della Paisan. Renz Kevin Gonzalez. Karen KG Grace Granadozin. Amara Jordan. Angelique Kilangan. Carlos Martinez Zabala. Emmanuel Hernandez. Patrick Tassi Longi Jr. Jared Malari. Brianna Hunter. Chevelle Stokes. Deether D. Zapian Farhat. Hinak Mengesha. Ivy Eldape. Rodan Gekayan. Ahmad Ismail. Eric Sandoval. Jimmy Ho. Melanie Seychow. You're welcome. Congratulations. Susan Lopez. David Bean. Dennis Hernandez. Julio Lopez. Muhammad Ali. Natalie Luna Acosta. Safina Huang. Now please help me welcome the program manager for LC Ignite. If you watch Netflix, Grace and Frankie, she is my Grace to my Frankie, Casey Wheeler.
All right, good morning, everyone. I have the pleasure of announcing LC Ignite graduates. So we'll kick it off with my coaching group, Alexander Eichelberger. Isaac Vera. Justin Lee. RJ Kaluag. Benjamin Chow. Febe Gonzalez. Marco Magallon. Sandra Lopez Nahar. Steve Ramirez. Steve. Basamatha Lewis. Anthony Q. Cesar Aguilar. Diavion Johnson. Jahi Davis. Jose Boyd. Axel Reynoso. Chao Jiang. Julio Rivera. Our birthday girl, Kimberly Cooper. Valerie Oom. Ahmed Iget. Biancarlo Villa. Itzel Ramirez. Jose Rodriguez. Melena Vierin. And Richard Nonan. Abdullah Ibrahim. Christian Velasquez. Jennifer Miza Molina. Tatiana Holiday. Zishan Nazir. Angelo Alarcon. Christian Perez. Jasmine Antimo. Justin Lopez. Karema Ramos. Wakbao Wang. Elsie? 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 Burn bright, y'all. It is now my pleasure to introduce the third trio of me, Paris, and our birthday boy, Sean Johnson.
I feel so honored and old today, so thank you. My name is Sean Johnson. I'm the program manager of the wonderful class LC Resilient. Very honored to be their first program manager and have this be my first official cycle here with ERL, so thank you. Yeah. So, starting with our coach, our coaching group, Alex Vu. Ellen Pabletti. Ahmed Adnan. Cameron Lamb. Christina May. Excuse me. I really wanted to see her face as I said her name. I needed to. Shout out for Christina. Thank you. Esmeralda Ochoa. Micah Harrigan. Jordan Stanley. Summer Sheik. What's happening here? Anthony Ruiz. Joe Rick Velasco. Raul Hernandez Arribas. Ricardo Ricky Salaranzana. Sarai Horace. Stanley Wright III. Anthony Ma. Ready? Miriam Ancia. Mohammed Anala. Valeria Troniska. Alicia Sierra Martinez. Let's give her an extra round of applause for Alicia Sierra Martinez.
What happened, Sean?
I don't know. Since we had a little technical issue, please understand that that young adult right there is one of the most phenomenal individuals I've ever met in my life. So, extra shout out for you and everything. Next up, Fabian Gomez. Just walk. No, I didn't introduce you. Extra round of applause for Fabian. Jemiah Woodard. Jasper Yu. John Mixon Jr. Samuel Shapira. DeAndre Jones. Emily Liu. Jonathan Segutin. Justin Ignacio. Nicholas Romero Alvarez. And now to introduce one of our newer PMs, but not new to Europe, Ruben Gutierrez.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ruben. I'm the program manager for our employee-based model, Facebook. And I have the honor to congratulating this wonderful class with their certificates. The first group is our coaching group. So we'll start off with Christopher Echeverria. All right. Next up, we have Gerardo Godinez. Kimberly Avalos. Anina Ruth Hotatafe. Brian Salinas. Carla Godinez. Emilio Ramirez. Memo Lopez. Congratulations, man. Jordan Palacos. Of course. All right. Andres Arario. David Mapa. Giselle Chavez. Kenya Batista. Corey Smith. Congrats, Corey. Alan Garcia. Allison Lombardes. Anthony Gutierrez Molina. Julian Polancos. Lupita Rodriguez. All right. Robin Todd. Desiree Jones. Sarah Njongo. All right. Alexis Arroyo. Deja Price. Jesus Peregrino. Karina Maldonado. Noemi Suarez. Rashawn Ali. All right. Armando Contreras. Blanca Vasquez. Congrats, man. Thank you so much, man. Estefany Guerra. Harinder Baines. Last but not least, Jose Sanchez Ortiz. Congrats, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Tanya? I didn't see you earlier. Congrats, man. Next up, we will bring a wonderful program manager from our Diablo Valley campus. Let's bring it up. Let's give it up for Audrey.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Audrey Rhodes Market, and I'm the Associate Director of Program at our beautiful Diablo Valley College campus out in the deep East Bay. And I'm going to start us off with my coaching group. So first up, we have Arif Azam. Anila Kanwal. Anthony Moreno. Justin Tirso. Congratulations. And Lucas Suchel. Angelo Nepai. Diego Gonzalez. Jamie Martinez. Jared Wencelina. Jordan Natividad. Liliana Acevedo. Arnell Valera. Avery Flores. Danny Curiel. Grant Marturano. Of course I made a show. Adan Martinez. Andre White. Brandon Malapat. Jacob Buensalida. Janine Del Rosario. Congratulations. Luigi Bustos. Alexio Cabanero. Anthony Parker. Erica Gokenauer. Congratulations. Larry Chim. Congratulations. And last but not least, Robert Tarvis Jr. And now I'd like to introduce my amazing colleague down in the South Bay, Derek Asen.
All right, year up. Are we excited? Let's go. My name is Derek Asen. I'm a program manager at our Year Up Bay Area Silicon Valley site. LC Empower. All right, so first up, we got Chris Griffiths. Jawad Wick Fadai. Malia Mafi. Yaneli Rose. Abdi Suleiman. Moises Landa Verde. Vanessa Guevara. And shout out to the birthday girl, Yasmin Garcia. Happy birthday. You ready? Carlos Miranda. Jessica Solorzano. Kimberly Pham. Megan Grady. Elena Corosco. Emmanuel Mendoza Andas. Jonathan Castillo. Melissa Garcia. And Alexander Rukashov. Bianca Chavez. Elmer Santos. Ricardo Canella. Sierra Mason. Du Fan. Graciela Garcia Vasquez. Guillermo Diaz. Hey. Brianna Lane. Christine Cruz. You're welcome. Eduardo Sanchez Diego. And last but not least, Ophelia Medina. Next up, I'm going to call up my partner in crime from our Year Up Silicon Valley site. We have Marianne Van Westbrook. Give her a round of applause, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marianne Van Westbrook, and I am the program manager for LC Courage. This is actually my first graduating class, so LC Courage, let's get loud. YU? SV? Awesome. All right, so let's get this party started. Christian Martinez. Joey Catalan. Viviana Arredondo. William Alexander Ramirez Avalos. Alicia Tran. Benny Chu. Carmen Hernandez. Fabian Hernandez Reynosa. Carl Nordlin. Monique Cash. Andrea Angelis. Ingrid Elias. Jason Gonzalez. Michaela Johnson. Alex Parga. Brittany Wilkerson. Cynthia Garcia. Gabriel Coe. Sabrina Alina Esparza. Christopher Cordoba Cabrera. Brandel Herrera. Diego Antonio Rivera Nungaray. Carla Martinez. Augustine Cortez. Griselda Sedano Aranda. Carla Adams. Annabelle Lolua Faitu. Luis Alvarez. Guerrero. Michael Ayon. And last but certainly not least, Martin Hernandez. Congratulations, Class 22. Let's give yourselves another round of applause. On behalf of the Year Up Bay Area staff, I would like to say that we are beyond proud of each and every one of you. All of you deserve all of the acknowledgement and celebration today. Twice a year, Year Up Bay Area recognizes students from each learning committee with awards in excellence, leadership, and community service. At this time, I want to take this opportunity to share the names of the recipients of the Dave Reddick and Chris Mello Award for Leadership and the Craig Fletcher Cooks Community Service Award. Awardees, as I call your name, please stand. Audience, please hold your applause until all the awardees are standing. Our first award is named after two Year Up champions, Dave Reddick and Chris Mello, exemplary executives who nurtured Year Up in its early stages, which eventually led to the national organization it is today. Dave and Chris were both tragically killed in the September 11th attacks in New York City. And this award is to commemorate their important impact on this organization. The Dave Reddick and Chris Mello Award for Excellence is awarded to individuals who throughout their Year Up experience were known for consistently pursuing excellence and encouraging others to do the same. The recipients of the awards are, please stand, Carla Adams, Yaneli Rose, Brianna Hunter, Christian Velasquez, Zishan Nasir, Joe Rick Velasco, Raul Hernandez, Ricky Solorzano, Sarah Njongo, and Justin Turso. Congratulations. You may now be seated. The Craig Fletcher Cooks Community Service Award honors Year Up graduates who, like Craig, have truly dedicated themselves to their community. Craig graduated from Year Up in July 2017, and his life was cut short as he was protecting a loved one from an act of violence. He believed that one can only feel successful when they recognize and support the success of those around them. The following students have carried on Craig's legacy through their commitment to their Year Up community. The recipients of the Craig Fletcher Cooks Community Service Awards are, please stand, Carmen Hernandez, Brianna Lane, Deether Zapian, Justin Lee, Cameron Lamb, Anthony Gutierrez Molina, and Anila Conwall. You may now be seated. Congratulations to our award recipients. We know you all will continue to apply the same dedication to your careers and to your lives. Thank you for letting us walk with you in your journeys. Now, please welcome to the stage our alumni representative from Class 19, Corinne O'Malley.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna wait till it's all quiet. Failure. A few years ago, that was how I would have defined myself. I was a college dropout with nothing of substance on my resume. Stints in retail and food service jobs were all I had to show in terms of work experience. But standing before you today, I can confidently say that I am far from that. My name is Corinne O'Malley, and I am a proud alumna of YU. YU! Woo! All right, so before I started my journey with Year Up, I had dropped out of Cal State East Bay and soon found myself working full-time at a restaurant, living paycheck to paycheck. Before I knew it, I had hit my 4-year mark as a manager at Chipotle, working alongside some of you here in the audience today. Shout out Jeffrey and RJ. You out there, you out there. Every day was the same story. Breaking my back, putting on a fake smile, and providing the best level of service for difficult customers, all while barely making ends meet. I was starting to get comfortable with the fact that that's all I would ever amount to in life. Being a first-generation Filipino-American citizen, it was heartbreaking to know the disappointment I had caused in my parents after everything they had sacrificed for me and my siblings. And quite frankly, it was embarrassing to be at that age, not being able to alleviate any of their financial burdens. Some of you may be wondering, why didn't I just go back to school? I thought about it. But then I thought about the huge amount of debt my family and I couldn't afford, and how disappointing it would be to rack up all that debt just to drop out again. I convinced myself that this was okay, that I didn't need more. But that was a bold-faced lie. Fortunately, I had a friend who completed the program who was persistent enough to convince me that Year Up wasn't some scam or too good to be true. I applied right before my 25th birthday. Little did I know, getting accepted meant that I would take back control of my destiny, my future. Through Year Up, I was able to overcome my sense of failure and grow more confident in myself and my abilities. And I was pushed out of my comfort zone multiple times, just like how I've been right now. Even at my lowest, my learning community, my LC, helped me see my potential. And now, I'm able to pay it forward by recommending this program to loved ones that I see potential in. After graduation, I accepted a contractor position on the Global Philanthropy and Engagement team at Salesforce.org. I am proud to say that I recently celebrated a conversion to full-time as well as a promotion to Community Engagement Associate. My team focuses on encouraging our ecosystem, which includes our employees, our customers, and other corporations to give back to the communities where they live and work. On top of that, we support initiatives like Year Up that give our future leaders the resources needed for the jobs of tomorrow. Being a Year Up alum, I am beyond grateful for initiatives like these that make it possible for people like us to break barriers, to break boundaries, and to break the box that society has put us in. I am so proud of all of you for breaking out of that box. Now, on behalf of the Year Up Bay Area Alumni Association, I am excited to announce the winners of the Elliott Malik Patterson Academic Scholarship Award. The Alumni Association sponsors college scholarships for 6 graduates at each commencement ceremony because we recognize that graduation doesn't end the Year Up journey. We wish to make a tangible investment in the future of our fellow alumni and do so by asking them to illustrate to us their need for a scholarship and their vision for the future. The winners of the scholarships are recognized for exemplifying what it means to strive for scholastic excellence beyond the program and invest that knowledge in future classes. Please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all names have been read. Chad Seicho. Okay. Yasmin Garcia. Lori Din. Ivy Aldape. Abdullah Ibrahim. Sarah Najongo. Congratulations to our award winners. You may be seated. Graduates, as you are all inducted into the alumni family, remember that you have a responsibility to never let the word failure define you or anyone else. Every day is a new opportunity to elevate yourself and those around you who may not have that hope otherwise. As we recite the alumni oath, remember those who have supported you. Remember those who have taken you under their wing. Because as of this moment, it's your turn. Graduates, please stand and repeat after me. Are all my graduates standing? Yes? All right. Repeat after me. I pledge that as a member of the Year Up National Alumni Association, I will continue to uphold and promote Year Up's mission and core values. I will strive for excellence and realize my potential. I will use my time and talents to contribute to the success of Year Up, its students, and its alumni. I will take action in the movement to close the opportunity divide. I take this oath freely as a promise to lift while I climb. We're almost done, guys. And to be a lifelong ambassador of Year Up. Congrats, Class 22! All right, if you can all please take your seats. And now, please welcome to the stage Executive Director of Year Up Bay Area, Emily Schaefer.
Thank you, Corinne, and happy Lunar New Year. It's an auspicious day for us to be here together. Today I have the honor of presenting Year Up Bay Area's first Bernard Tyson Award for Leadership. Bernard Tyson was born in Vallejo, California. At the age of 25, he accepted an internship at Kaiser Permanente, which soon transitioned into a full-time role. Over the next 29 years, Bernard took on larger and larger leadership roles. And in 2013, he became Kaiser Permanente's first African-American chairman and CEO. I had the great pleasure of meeting with Bernard regarding the partnership between Kaiser and Year Up. Bernard's view of leadership was expansive, and he shared with me that he believed economic inequality to be a public health issue. He wanted Kaiser to be a leader in creating communities where all people could access opportunity. It was with this sentiment that Bernard championed the partnership between Kaiser and Year Up. And as of Monday, Kaiser will have hosted 336 Year Up interns. Bernard passed away unexpectedly on November 10th of 2019, leaving us all to wonder what he might have accomplished with more years on this earth. He spent his life investing in others, and now it's our job to continue his legacy of leadership. In that spirit, please join me in congratulating the inaugural winners of the Bernard Tyson Award for Leadership. Please stand when I call your name. Makala Johnson, Megan Grady, Carlos Martinez Zabala, Diavion Johnson, Ellen Poblete, Estefany Guerra, Angelo Nipe. Congratulations to our award winners. Now, we all know our whole staff works hard to make today possible, but there are a few people who really create this event. Please stand up and be recognized. Mariah Roberts, Adele Burns, Emily Leong, Lisa Diaz, Janice Altman, Erica Beadle, Gerda Herder, Ted Fernandez, Maria Asensio, Brooke Bilyeu, Valeria Ramirez, Carlos Tellez, Andrea Banyas, Vanessa Hernandez, Lindsay Jones, and Erica Seidman. Thank you. Thank you all. I'd also like to thank the fiscal sponsors of this graduation, Silicon Valley Bank and Okta. The two companies supporting this event have invested in Year Up graduates in tons of ways: employee volunteering, hosting interns, and hiring graduates. We are so grateful. Thank you so much. We also have representatives here from our partnership sites, Diablo Valley College and Facebook. At a partnership site, everything we do together. We are grateful for your partnership. Thank you for being here today and for our ongoing work together. And now, a moment that our graduates have been waiting for. Before I go on, we're going to celebrate the people who create this Year Up journey we celebrate today. Staff of Year Up Bay Area, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for creating the runway for 239 graduates that we celebrate today to launch their careers. And as evidenced by the wild applause in this room, the investment of your time and energy into our graduates has made all the difference in their journeys. Thank you. Our room today is filled with people who have made this day and this Year Up journey possible. Thank you to our speakers and to Kelly, someone who I have the deepest respect for, and now you can all see why. Thank you to every mentor, every manager, every family member, every community member, board member, college faculty, alumni, friend, and family member in this room today. Every person in this room today makes the milestone we celebrate possible. Zishan had several of the people on his journey stand, and if every graduate did the same, we'd all be standing by the end. Standing in support of the young adults that we are here to celebrate today, like a patchwork quilt, each square unique, bound together to form the tapestry of our community here in the Bay Area. The quilt in this room is 2,000 people strong. Add to that an additional 2,000 Bay Area alumni who came before these graduates, and all the people in their patchwork quilt of support. And when I lay that quilt over our beautiful Bay Area, I can see our movement. I can see people at every turn who know that our future is in the hands of the next generation of talent, and that we've taken a step toward a world where hard work, creativity, and a growth mindset are the drivers of your career, not the zip code you grew up in or the amount of money in your bank account. And we are not alone. LinkedIn has identified this as the network gap. Salesforce has identified it as the opportunity gap. And both companies are unleashing resources to close this opportunity divide. Class 22, I'm going to speak for every person in this room. We are so proud of you. We're not proud because you earned a prestigious internship or because you're crossing this graduation stage. We are proud of you for something much bigger, much longer, and much more difficult. We are proud that you see yourself for what you can be, beyond who you are in this moment. We are proud to witness how you've worked to push your comfort zone, advance your skills, and strive for more in life. We're proud that you respect yourself to live into your potential and nurture your gifts, even when you don't feel like waking up early, when you're the only person who looks like you in the room, or when you're intimidated by a tough project at work. We are proud that you are on a journey to prepare yourself to build the future and close the opportunity divide. Today, we celebrate your graduation as a milestone in your journeys, knowing that we are still in the early chapters of the stories of your lives, and much is yet to be written. When one celebrates milestones like a graduation, it's a good moment for reflection. This graduation is about you, but I'm going to tell you for a moment about me. I've spent the last 9 years of my life on a Year Up journey. As a student and intern, you may have thought that staff had arrived in their professional evolution. But I am here to tell you that living into your greatness is a journey, not a destination. And we're all on that journey. My Year Up journey has taught me immeasurable lessons that have made me a better colleague, a better partner, a better parent, and a better citizen. When I was in my 20s, I was one of the person my friends would describe as fashionably late. I was intimidated by conflict, and if I felt wronged by someone, I would rather write them off as opposed to talking with them about it. I assumed that my way of doing things would work for others. I too endured hardship and trauma as a young person, and spent a lot of my early adulthood processing the lessons I was intended to take from the struggle. I lived many years that way, and it worked for me, somewhat. When I got to Year Up, for the first time in my life, I had a community that pushed me hard to be better, and stood by me while I was doing my growing. I was more aware of how I needed to grow than I'd ever had been. And I cared more about my own growth than I ever had before, because I could see the impact that my growth had on my Year Up community. Over the years, I've thought a lot about what makes this community so special. Undoubtedly, it is each one of us who forms the community. And at the core, I believe that our power to be earnest in our desire to see each other thrive, that is where our power lies. This commitment requires each one of us to learn and grow and to walk that journey together. This journey strips away the pride and ego because you must try and fail and let your community pick you up, dust yourself off, and keep trying another day. Enough days of this journey together, and eventually you are doing things you never thought you would because you are trying and striving for things you never thought you could have. As Zishan says, the things that make it hard make us stronger. It is our connection to each other on this journey that we're on that keeps us moving forward together. Because truly none of us does this alone. And now back to our patchwork quilt. What if we could take this special Year Up experience, the unshakable belief in ourselves and each other, and the willingness to be on the journey together, and extended that to the world outside these walls? What if we brought our patchwork quilt 2,000 people strong out into our neighborhoods, our friends, and our family groups? What would we create? We could create a movement where we are bonded by aspiration and see ourselves as the vehicle to spread this reality. When we leave here today, I'd like you to do one thing. Take one action to walk with someone who's on a growing journey in your life. Reach out. See if you can walk this path with them. And while you're at it, think about how you want to push yourself and invite them on your journey. Congratulations, Class 22, and thank you for being the inspiration of the movement that our room will build. Why you? Why you? Why you? Now off to Augustine to close us out.
Thank you, Emily, for those amazing, inspiring words. Now, I'm sure if you're like me, you're pretty hungry. So we're going to make this short and sweet. Okay. So once again, we're truly grateful for each and every one of you to attend today, to support us on this year-long journey. We're truly grateful. Thank you to our partners, every single person that has helped us propel throughout this journey. We truly couldn't have done it without y'all. So we'll end this now, and we'll end by saying, we are the ones that create the everlasting impacts in our communities. So here's cheers to our futures.